This is what we'll be designing today. This is a political poster, and we are going to consider posters and billboards to be in the same category. It will be a matter of just expanding and adding some, dimensions to it to raise it to that level of billboards. But this is good enough for a poster. I might have to show some more stuff because this must have been an online stuff, being that I'm seeing it with a square shape here. Okay, but let's design something like this for political purpose. First of all, let me copy this. It's not my work. Okay, it's a friend's work, and I have to. Let's open CorelDraw. All right. So my CorelDraw loads up with this welcome screen, which I'm not interested. I can just click on create a new blank document, and we move into because I'm doing it for online purposes now. I'm doing RGB, and this color profile I'm seeing here is RGB. Else I would have said let's use CMYK. That's assuming we wanted to really print. We are supposed to use CMYK profile here, but because there is no intention of printing what we are doing now, so that I can have colors similar to what you see here, we will use RGB. That's it. So it's opened. Let me paste what I copied there. Okay, so today we'll be working on this. A poster, that is something you want to post, like paste on walls or some of those areas you have to do your marketing, or to advertise your candidate, your interest, maybe like a program that is coming up soon in a church, in an event, political poster, campaign poster, whatever. It doesn't need to be a square-shaped poster like this, except you're printing flex on it. There's what we call flex material, whereby something like banner, but just a square shape of it. Okay, that one is okay. But if you want to print it on paper, the paper size ought to be A3. So the first thing we do here is to select our paper size to be A3. All right. A3 is, if you combine two typing sheets together, that is A3. That's a size for it. Outside that, A3 might be small enough. That's the smallest kind of poster. You can use A2, bigger one, or in some cases A1, very large paper size. That is for big political parties. That one is going to be more feasible. All right, but for us, we are going to use A3 for this concept because everything else is about scaling. If you design on A3, for instance, this is an A3. Let me click on it and draw a square around this place and color it maybe like red. And now change my paper size here to A2. It's a matter of just resizing it. It will fit, rescaling it. And now change my paper here to A1. For instance, where's A1? A1. It will just be for me to just type, this is 594 by 841. While this thing is being here and this aspect ratio is locked, if I lock the ratio, here, the next thing I will ever need to do is to look at my page, 594. Just come in here and type in here, 594. 594. Enter. The rest of the size will expand automatically to meet up the rest, maintaining the same aspect ratio that we locked in here. And if I want to return to A4, for instance, let me pull this thing and keep by the side so they can see clearly. I want to return back to A4 size, because A4, A3, A2, A1, A0 is more like just doubling itself twice. Okay, if I return to A4, you would see this size, and now come back here. A4 is 297 by 210. So I want to fill in this 210 here. Just hold it while I'm clicking this to be active. I go to my size, object size, and type in the dimension 210. It will automatically resize the rest of it to match that other part. However, if this aspect ratio was not locked, if it was unlocked, let me show you so you can see clearly. This is now unlocked. Now it is locked. See that padlock closing? Okay. Let's see what the message says. It says, reserve the original ratio of width to height when scaling and sizing the object. Now, if that aspect ratio is unlocked, and now change this paper back to A, let's say A1 for instance, and now A1 is 594 by 841, and now come and type 594 here while it is being unlocked, 594. check here that here is unlocked and press enter, it only expands the width to match the width of my page, but the height didn't grow along with it because I have unlocked the aspect ratio. In other words, I can stretch one side the other way automatically by scaling it up without affecting the rest. So it's always, whenever you do this kind of thing, consider the aspect ratio, especially if you are at the printing end, so that when you expand it, everything grows along with you. Now back to our A3, which is going to be the size we're going to use. And for emphasis still, I said before that A3 is twice A4, A4 is twice 2 times the size of, two times A4 is A3, 2 times A3, A2 is A1, and so on. So in other words, the smallest can be like A6, can be very small. The bigger the number, the smaller in size. Then let's look for A6, if it is here. Can we find it? No. A5, A6, okay. This is A6. If I fill this place with A6 paper size and let's say color it blue here, and now change it to A5, you will realize that 2 A6 will make an A5 paper size. So, but here doesn't look like if it's really that practical because of what I'm saying. If I turn this A5 into landscape orientation, you will see that if you keep one here, the other one will automatically fit into the other side. And that is what we used to do when you are designing a program or book. You consider the front side of it to take one side, the back side to take the other side, and then the spine takes the middle point. Why you see this one? Okay, let me use a border around here. Double clicking here puts a shape around this place. So, and now come here and highlight this again, the two together, R on keyboard to align it right, and T to align it to the top. So I also move this one to this side, and then E on keyboard to align it centered. That is, instead of from top to down to center of this thing, or can as well be top or center. I prefer the center, okay? Then left in this kind of round, L on keyboard. You can see that the two of them comfortably fits into the shape of that page from A6 to A5. And if you combine all of this together this is now becoming A5 now, and you now move to A4 paper size, you are likely going to have twice the size of A5, making an A4. Okay, so let me put it, okay, if I drag these two together and drop here, you might just need to change the orientation of each of the pages. That's bottom alignment. Then I want to copy this to the other side. Then align it top T. You see, that is an A4. It aligns. And likewise, you can keep growing till A0, which is very big size of paper. Some machines can't even print that A4, A30. Some offset machines, so you have to go like for flex banner. Please, this is just to guide you on things, because we cannot sit down and learn everything all together. For every new topic we are bringing, we add a spice. For every new subject we want to design, we add a spice that will give you idea into other things that CorelDraw can help you to do, or you can be able to do, or what level of understanding you need to gain in order to become a professional in that field of graphics design. So back to our paper size that we want to use by default here is A3, which is the standard poster size. Okay, the first thing here, should I ignore this aspect ratio? Okay, no, initially. So in that case, let me use my regular online flyer detail. Then when I'm done with that online flyer design, I'm going to duplicate it and turn it into a poster that is printable for me, or something that has to go with A3, A4 and all that. My initial my online poster, for instance, I used to use 150 mm by 150 mm. There's no law that says you must use that, okay, because it can always be compressed, but that is good enough for any purpose you want to. For instance, if you change it down to pixels, you see that you have 1700 by 1700. It can fit into any kind of resolution with very bright colors. But if you are using like an ordinary Instagram takes a 1080 by 1080, so if you say 1080 by 1080, remember it is pixels this time around. It is pixels here. So this is what Instagram requires. But for clarity, sharpness of the details, I prefer using that mm, for instance, okay, and that mm I'm going to fill it with 150 by 150, which eventually gives me about 1700 and something pixels, which is cool enough for anything. Take note, you can always convert your units to see what the rest, like in inches, is about 6 inches, 6 by 6 inches. Okay, that 150. And in mm is already a pickers point or point, pixels, and all that, feet and yards. You can check how they are. And of course, you know that if you are printing flex banner, most people calculate their prices based on feet. So about 6 inches is going to be almost about half a feet. If you know all those things, all right, there's no big deal. They just use any one that you are very comfortable with, depending on what you measured. So back to my millimeters, which is 150 there. Okay, so I want to also resize this one to 150 so that I can be seeing it side by side. Or say, having locked my aspect ratio, type 150 in here, it resizes everything. All right, let's get to design. By now, I know that most of us should have been able to design this thing without stress. I just believe that because we have done a lot. Okay, for you coming to this stage, you can do this thing. If you have this picture, you don't need any other thing again. The rest is something you can do. But for us, let's just try to do a design of this for sure. So I double click my rectangle tool as usual to get my page surrounded with my page border, whereby I can now work with this thing as a background for my work. And this work here has multiple backgrounds: black, red, and white. There are two ways to go about it. One, I can just make a layer of black here. While I'm pulling it up, I duplicate that one there. You know, understand what it means to duplicate now, right? Clicking to leave it there. Then as well, I can get another one here and call it the red section and just duplicate it there. And then possibly I might want to leave this other one to be white. Okay, so if I color this one white, I color this upper one black. I'm going to use RGB, so I'm going to be working with this color palette the more, not this color palette, not this CMYK. This is RGB that will give us colors as bright as this. You can even see in the things you see. Okay, so I'm going to work with this black here. Check the black of RGB, check the black of, I don't know if you can see the differences on screen, but you can see that one is a little more, but the other one is a little darker. Those are differences. But when you want to print, this one is giving you CMYK at 100, 100, 100, 100. So it's more like full scale detailed color, 100% all the colors mixed together, which if you are printing, it can disturb the offset machine by what we call double printing and the rest of them. Okay, so we are using RGB to do this because we are designing for an online purpose. And here, the middle here comes in with, take note, if you are using this kind, it's very good for background, okay, even if you are printing, because the background is going to be thick. As a matter of fact, using background, you should not use this singular black. Use the one that is a combination of black, all the colors in the world that you know. Okay? So that is it. And here we have the red. I just want to feel it. We will get into the details very well. And then this other side, we have the white. Okay. And I can look at it again that the red also have another layer of red here. Another smaller layer of red that appears this original red as it is. This shiny red is in that layer. There's another layer of red here that is a little thicker or darker than the other. So how do I get that kind of red? Can I find it here? I don't know. It is not found. So let us go to our color palette, or let's go to our color dialog box and see uniform fill, how we can mix our colors some more. Since I do not know, one way of getting this could be pick an eyedropper tool and then pick this color and stamp it there. And that is because I have the color on screen. And the designer here is trying to look at the colors maybe that made this man's dress code, which is red and all of that. I can't tell, I don't know, but it's not bad that this red is there. It makes it beautiful. I've been able to pick this. But what if I didn't have this color here with me? How would I have been able to know or to pick a color that is not in this color palette? Is it this one? Okay, it looks like it. Okay, so that's the color. Actually, that's a color. Beautiful. But assuming it wasn't there, I would have just double clicked on this place, and then it will take me to my uniform fill dialog box, whereby I can now come to the models and then move my slider up or down to give me a different color as much as I want. Let's say if I'm moving it there, it gives me a different color there, which is a little darker than even what we have on screen already. What's happening now? I'm clicking and you're refusing to answer. Okay. So that's it. I want to undo because we've gotten our color already, which is cool for us there. Okay, please, I want to remove all the outlines. So I'm selecting everything and then I right click on the empty color wheel or empty color spot there. Somehow we have gotten our background ready to receive anything we want to type on it. Just wanted to blend that place very well. Now let me zoom in here. If you zoom into this, get in to see what they wrote here. There is a little set of stars here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this background also have some patterns, little textures, or patterns in the background. A pattern that goes with the squares, kind of squares around, just interlocking themselves, and it's an interlocking background. We can create it. You might as well look for something like this to get from internet, or depending on wherever the owner caught it from. It's possibly caught it from anywhere, or he also did it by himself. But for us here, we are going to draw it all by ourselves. So let's get to that. How many layers? We have 1, 2, 3, and the small one inside there. So I just pick my small rectangle tool and maybe draw a little stuff here. And I want it to be almost similar to the size. So just draw this and rotate it like 90 degrees or 45 degrees, so that it will look like, see the way it is standing here. That inner one almost has a perfect shading. And for now, let me just shade it with the lighter tone. Sorry, I want to use the RGB palette. So shade it with lighter tone. Then I would have to pull out this to this level and remove the colors, as in the shading, and then instead give it an outline. And that outline, I want it to be this way. But that my outline, I want it to be very thick. A little thick, as that's too much. Let's say about 3 points. Look. Okay, I can see the thing is expanding towards the center, which means that it's actually a shape that is combined together. So I want to combine the shape together. But before then, I want to remove outlines here so that we can see clearly. Correct. Remove the shading. So what I did now is that while this one was somewhere around here, I drag it up to this level. That's to give my first layer, then duplicate it. Okay, I'm just trying to form that. Then I might have to combine these two together. By combining them, they now become one object. The combine option is there at the property toolbar. So if I color this now, it has now cropped out the inner segment of the overlapping segment, leaving the other parts for us to work with. Okay, so I remove the outline now. You can see that this first one is now ready. Okay, although my own here is looking a little bit tinier, so I have to make it a little thicker. I have to ungroup it, as in what they call separate it. After separation, I just call it to see. So I want to reduce this one a little to give more space. Let there be thickness on the border around it. Okay, so now come back and combine it. This one is also too big. You cannot be spending this kind of time doing this thing. Hey, stop that. Okay, let's get this. Just because I'm trying to do something that students will be able to understand, let's combine it. And whatever it is, we take it that way. So we've gotten this layer now. We have 1 and 2 more remaining. So what I'm going to do now is to highlight this, then drag it to a point considerably good enough, duplicate it there, and then second round. The growth of my own is a little bigger than the other one. Okay, this one is thick enough. Okay, this one is next. This one is next. Okay. I take it that way. Let's take it that way. There's no time. So I've gotten that. Take note, at the end of the day, I'm going to convert all of this to white color. But if I put it on white now, we cannot see it in the background. That's why you see me trying to use those color variants. Okay. So next thing is to begin to blend them up by interlocking them. So let me interlock from left to right and then from up to down. So starting from here, let me assume it's here. Now move it, come to this point and drop it maybe around this zone. Let them just kiss themselves a little, and then keep on Control R on keyboard while I just did the last. It repeats the last operation until I have sufficient enough to go around the area that I want to cover. And likewise, I also move it to the upside, and before I leave it, I right click so that it will duplicate it there for me with a little interlocking, as in just to close up the space. Then zoom out, as in Control R is what I'm pressing now on keyboard. It keeps on duplicating it till wherever I want it to stop. So I've gotten that now. Next thing is to move this thing now into the get back in here. Okay. I can also see that in between these boxes, every space is covered. Okay. So how do we create that kind of pattern? Take note, everything we're doing, we use one stone to kill many birds. So while we are learning how to design poster generally, you are also seeing a concept that someone applied, whereby you can as well learn how it is being done. So what do we do now? I want to move this one. This one that is very close to it, it should be in here. I don't know why my system is this busy. I don't like busy system. Okay. So I'm moving it in here. Just to interlock at this point very well. I don't know how I'm going to get it rightly, but I think it should work. Okay, that has been cut on, right? Perfect. So I just moved the whole of one line, one straight line, and duplicated it to interlock itself. So with that now, the next one here, I don't need all this again. I have to delete them so that my work can be faster. Having cut 1 and 2, I will duplicate this layer 1 and layer 2 around, and that should be able to produce for me whatever I want to achieve in the future, because one takes in here and the other one takes in the other one takes it out, such that if I move it up like this now and position this one, hold on, I want to press escape to cancel that so that I can get back to rating. It's like it wasn't moving fine. What am I snapping it up to? Few snap to objects. For now, remove it. Okay, I'm zooming out so I can highlight that the whole of the two lines together. So after highlighting the whole of two lines, zooming, I want to see details. So moving it up, you can see that as I'm grouping many objects together, the thing is getting a little thicker for CorelDraw to handle. So you have to hold Control on keyboard while trying to set it so that it will be on a very straight line. I'm done with that. So just to release it, I have to right click to drop it, and that's okay. Control R will repeat that operation till infinity. Okay, for me, we've gotten that background as much as I see it look like here, which is okay. I can see another thing too. Oh God, I didn't do it well, Sha, but I think you understand how it is. 1, 2, 3 layer. The fourth one is the same border that the other one works with, so there is no thicker layer here. In other words, my duplicating was wrong. I want to get back to it and see do it rightly. Take note, this is not my own work, and I didn't study this work prior to now. I'm just showing us how to design graphics on the go. Okay, so in that case, what I would have needed to do was this one needs to lap into these points. I think to just take up the space of this. Bring it in. Please, I want to ungroup. The objects are too many. That's why it's making it heavy to move. Okay. I want to start with 1 or 2 objects only. All right. So here, or another way around, I can as well come back here, ungroup it, combine it. When I combine it, it now becomes just one object. So I can work with one object instead of those multiple objects. Is making my screen to look, making the computer to be sluggish. Okay. I know that when I created it, I didn't really plan all of that, so I have to bring it into this place. In other words, the H at this point has to mix with the H at the other point. So you can see this. Instead of before I put it like this, now I have to put it like this because everything has to interlock, so that when you look at it from this line, you see this one crossing over, and when you look at it from this line, You see the other one crossing over. Graphics is just about simple creative ideas, simple creativity. Okay, undo. Then I have to Control R to repeat that for the whole of that line. Okay, maybe add some extra to guide. Then for this other line too, I have to do that second one that has to. And I will also bring it in so much that the lines overlap themselves as if they are part of the other one. So you can see the level which I'm bringing them in. So there I right click to duplicate it. Now you can no longer see the whole difference has been spotted. However, because I shifted it towards the right, everything also tilts towards the right for me. Nothing to worry about, okay? I might want to, having gotten this first one and first two, I could have to ungroup it line by line. So, okay, pick this one now. First line, second line. This should be the third line. Third line should be aligned to the first line. Control L. I tap this one, L. Bring this one to this one. See this line here to this line here. So when I highlight that, I say L, that is to align left. Likewise, I could easily just move all of them like this together and then say align left. Then I now come and, hey, that's blurry. It's giving me something different. First one, leave this one, click this one. Sorry, I click this one, skip this one, click the next, skip this, click the next, skip this, click the next, and then align to this one, which is the first we're supposed to align to. Then you now return to this side too. I think it's easier to take it from here. 1, 2, 3, and then align to this one here, and everything is done, and we have a straight pattern there. Now let's go back and see if it is what the person did here. Take note, we are not really trying to do the same thing, but you are learning many things at the same time, because definitely 14 days is not enough to design to learn everything, but with these techniques you will learn everything you want to learn. Okay, we've gotten that into the space, so let's bring it into our work. I can see that the thing also repeats here, the downside. Okay, I'll just fill it in here. Don't mind, some part will have to hide in under, some part will just go some other places. Here, what is really happening here? I think here is a plane. Okay, it's a plain background, while the upside has it, the downside has it, but the middle does not. So having done that, I'm sending it to the back of the page. Likewise, send this other one to the back of the page with shift page down. While that is being done, I can select this one and then go to effects, power clip, place inside container. So I'm putting this one on the bottom of this. Then this side also effects, power clip, place inside container. I'm putting it on this black area. But take note now that this guy has not to be black, it has to be white. I want to make it white color. But under that white, I have to apply transparency. I hope it will go, because the objects are looking many. Transparency. And I hope it will not conflict based on the overlapping. Okay, this overlapping used to cause some headaches sometimes too. So what we need to do now is we might want to convert it to bitmap first of all, or we weld all the elements together, and there are too many to be welded at the same time. Computer might hang. But for now, let me just do the transparency and increase it to like let's say 90%, so that it will be very faint on the background, which is the way I see it here too. Where we have the challenge now is in the overlapping area. Okay, I want to color it a different color first, let's say black, and ungroup everything first, and now weld everything together to make it one object. I hope my system will not hang. Beautiful, thank God it has passed through. Now turn it back to white, check my transparency that is still at 90, and we are done. You can now see that everything is well blended for the background, just the way we see it here. Okay, well done for that side. Then this side, being the white, we might still have to repeat the similar process, but because I don't want to go through that rigorous process anymore, I want to, in this time around, just use a recolor. We could have done the same thing the other way around, but you need to learn things. You need to be versatile. So I'm showing you many ways of doing the same thing. So here, I just want to color with a lighter gray. The other one I would have colored with a dark, something that is off black. Whether from here or there, I don't mind, because all I wanted to get the perfect design for my background. So I'm going to use 10% gray and see if it matches what was done here. Similar thing too. Because there's no transparency, you will not notice those overlapping areas, and we are good to go with our write-up. All right, the next thing is start typing. Please, I want to save this. Poster. Let me say, let's say, where should I say? Put it on the desktop for now. Okay. Poster design. Okay. Let me put it in the folder we're going to use here, which is the resource folder, poster design. So there is a folder here whereby I have I have cropped this picture somehow and brought it to that folder. But because we are learning together, I know that you've already learned how to crop picture. Take note, this picture didn't come from me, so I have to do some other internal manipulations and then crop it so that I just lift it and use it here. Basically, you should always crop your picture. You can use Photoshop to crop your picture. You can use background remover to crop your picture that is online. You can use Canva to crop your picture in a Canva app. And you can as well use CorelDraw to crop your picture, whichever that is faster for you. I think just because I had this challenge of all these stains here, I crop from here. I had to use Photoshop to do that cropping. But immediately I was done with that, I moved it on to Canva. And maybe you know how to use Canva. I can just quickly just do it for you. But let me just show you that way how I did it. So just quickly. Brought into Canva, canva.com. I hope it will open. I'm not going to waste time if the network is slow, because Canva relies on network to do everything. So I can just create a new design, create a design, and the design I'm going to create is just something for myself. Okay, just say, let's say in pixel, right? Let's say 1080 by 1080 Instagram post. So having created that, this is the picture, okay, so that I used to crop must have been in a downloads folder. Where was that picture? Okay, okay, in the resources folder where I just cropped that time. These resources, I think, design stuff. You've seen all of these things already before. So this is the one I cropped on. So I want to move it from here to my Canva, drag it and drop on the Canva spot. That is how I managed to crop my own. But you have to be a Canva Pro user to do this. Okay, I just extended it so that it will be big when I finally do my work. Expanded it. Okay. Now go to edit image. While the image is active, background remover. This is an introduction for those of us that may not have idea about Canva. In other words, you might still want to learn Canva in addition to whatever corridor you have, or you can also use BG remover tool. Anyone, you can see that it has automatically cropped it for me instead of going through Photoshop to be using my crop tool to run around and all of that. Even CorelDraw can still do the same thing too. So this one was looking faster for me. Okay, everything is more like which one is going to work faster for you. So I come here, say download, and then PNG option with transparent background, and that is it. Let it download for me. In a moment it should be done. So it is done. Open it here. I copy this to my drawing. Okay. So for me, paste. So for me, I have also put this picture as it is here in a folder here for you, which you would likely need to use in case it's in a resource folder here. Okay, look at it. Look at what I just saved now. At the end of that, I will delete this one, and put only this one for you. So let me say pics. I'm using this picture because I know this guy is my man, and I think he doesn't have any challenge. And of course, it's almost becoming a public face, so his face should show well. So that's the picture. I've put it in for you in the folder. Back to our CorelDraw. So I've now bring this picture into the drawing and stretch it accordingly. This one, everything has been done already for me now, and I don't have work here because it has been. I'm just following the crop marks. Okay, if I even did a perfect one, I would have. Okay, let me just remove some of this outlines or areas that are out of the whereby no image is within the zone. Okay, just moving them up with my shape tool, highlight up and click and drag across, and use the same shape tool and move them by the handles. Okay, so if I just position and say bottom, which is bottom of this one, not the other one, it aligns it for me, then I now stretch it accordingly to wherever I want it to be. Those things are not really so important, though. You can always stretch it to your taste, because if I want to push it inside, I can push it inside. If I want to bring it outside, I can. Even if I want to flip it around and put it this way, I put. But everything you are doing is dependent on the kind of picture you have. But this picture looks suitable for either left or right alignment, because one side is cut off. Okay, you cannot put this kind of picture at the middle. It won't work. And if you want to put it at the middle, then you have to do some other effect whereby either you put it inside a frame, and that frame can be something like this. Okay, you just do some manipulation and then bring this one and put it by power clip into the frame, and it could stay, but then it doesn't fit this purpose. Okay, so I'm undoing that. It doesn't fit this purpose. Take notes. We have grown above the level of copying and pasting. I'm just showing us how things could be done. So flip it back to the way it was. Align it bottom, to this one, bottom and right. That's B and R. Okay, on keyboard, typing of the names or the letters, which doesn't look big. Maybe where I'm going to concentrate energies on this field, which I think we've done already. Cost choice. That's all. And with an underline, what's the fonts here? Let me see this font. This is a familiar font for me, but can't just remember the name immediately. Cost choice. Ooh, looking. Could that be Calibri? It still looks alike, right? It looks very close to it. Almost everything is the same. Let me add this exclamation mark to see. Hey, we were going to use this font too. Before then, let me check the area fonts. Area fonts. Nothing is that far from it. Okay, but I want to use the Calibri. Okay, and then maybe compact it a little further with my shape tool. Just bring in a little here, then extend that. Okay, then color it white and drop it here, and then that's all. These stars, you know how to draw star now. Okay, to the shape tool, polygon tool, sorry. I mean, it's a 5-star shape, so we can even pick this 5-star shape. Okay, and just pick our 5-star there, and then type and then put it there, and remove the outline, size it accordingly. You know, these are just some graphic elements, just using to spice up your work. Then duplicate one on the other side too, then make another one like this too. I think that's what the person is trying to do. Okay, while I did that one, also duplicate it on this other side. It looks like something rounded. Okay, zone is a little close to themselves, so bringing it up a little, and also bringing it up this way too, and likewise here and here. Please, this is not something I'm going to spend time on. You know how to do this. If you want to really centralize it, group this and this, put this and this together, align them top, group them. Make sure that you come to this other side now. Grouping them means Ctrl G. Come and click this other one, then press C on keyboard. It should align. Well, please, you know these things already. Just do them. I'm done with cost choice. Then we now put a line. Sometimes when I'm designing poster or stuff like that has to be expanded, I like using rectangle to draw my line, so that when you expand it, it is easy to expand on to grow along. Not like if you use line, it won't grow, but line you might have to remember to kind of make sure that by the it will grow with the size of the objects. Okay, so let me show you this in now. If I'm drawing a line now and draw it here, okay, with the line tool, and color it. Right click on the color to give me the white color. Then I make the thickness to be as good as I want it to be. Let's say 1.5. Just leave it there for now. The time will come, I'm going to come back to explain that. But I have to make sure that those ones are behind. Whatever I'm doing there are behind this cap. So this picture now I have to bring it to the top of it. Right click on the picture and then so to order to front of layer. So that has given us that section. We've done. Don't mind my writing. Okay, but let me just do the writing. I'm teaching people. Then I'm going to bring this other one here up, order to the front of layer. What did I click? I want to click this one. The shortcut for it is shift page up, please. I can't be struggling because we've done this thing severally. Okay, I see that my star was a little bigger than the other one, so I have to reduce it a little further. And even the size of this was a little bigger. I have to reduce it a little further, and I'll bring it in here. Possibly stretch this font a little to give me that shape that looks like the other one more. Bring these two guys up. I will work on them later. I want to use it to explain something, but before I forget, let it just be there. This star is still a little smaller than what I'm seeing here, and it drops more like, okay, let's see. Okay, we'll maintain it that way. Then we now come to here to type the name and the rest of it. So we now say ambassador Uyi, break the line Kenneth, break the line Simeon, break the line for Corel, break the line. There's comma there. I'm just trying to type what I'm saying there. Reverse state. But for me, that comma is unnecessary because already you've shaded it differently and all of that. Okay, the next thing we would have been doing is to look for the character, the font. Okay, but before then, I am breaking this apart. So arrange, break text apart so that I can treat them one by one. Uyi, please, I'm not going to look for fonts. I'm going to dedicate a class, okay, for fonts and maybe fonts groupings for ease of you doing your business, because the font I might have it might not be available for you, but nothing to worry about. Okay, because I'm looking, I can see Eras Demi. Okay, it looks like that's the fold, Eras bold. Okay, since I've already seen it, I just pick it to use. So that's the font that is being used here up to this point, but this one is area. So I can use the same font here by saying edit, copy properties from, and then I'm taking text properties and all of this together, although I've not even finished the work there. So why should I copy the properties? So Uyi, Kenneth, and Simeon. Uyi is very big, so I have to break this apart. Control K breaks it. Then I make the Uyi very big. When you are designing, no one will be there to show you when to make it big. It will be you. So you should learn to think. I'm trying to see how we can think a little on our own, because the creativity is in your head. But a good way to have creativity is to look at other people's design, like as we're looking at it here, and then you have it. If you know what to do to get what those people did, it is easy that at least knowing what to do first of all, you can now get creativity by maybe look online, get concepts, or you sit down and imagine what you want to do, and so on. Before you know it, a time comes that you no longer need to look at anybody, just design something from your mind. For governor, I want to see close the cap of this guy. Okay, I make it a little bold. And okay, I think his one is not bold. It's not bold. It's not bold. Governor. What did you write here? Governor. 4, not GOR. 4. Okay. For governor, that governor is not bold, but River State is bold. So I want to take properties from the text and everything here of River State, from the governor. Sorry, from this governor. Copy from governor. Is that the thing? My mist doesn't show for me. So River State. Okay, I leave everything there. Governor is red. River State is black, and they have their own shadings. Now let's go back them to our ministry, to our departments. So I just duplicated them here. Okay, the colors. These people here have the same colors. I'm going to group them together. Right click and choose group. Control G is a shortcut. When grouping, after highlighting the three together. This for governor falls at the red line. I don't know why it's done that way, but the designer knew why he did it. River State fell on the cloth. Okay, and this other one fell here. If it were me, I would have loved to just put this for governor, maybe like this. It will just flow, and then shift the picture a little to the right hand corner. But since we are doing copy and paste ministries, so we put it the same alignment level here. Draw a small rectangle here and shade that rectangle accordingly based on what we see. There's a yellow kind of yellow color, or maybe not necessarily a perfect yellow, something like this, or orange. Could it be it's possibly it was yellow, because this thing is a picture that has been converted, so it's not a direct work. Okay, I want to shade it yellow, and if I'm not satisfied with that yellow, okay, this other yellow there, that looks good. That's the color there. Same thing applies here, but I'm seeing something that looks like a fountain fill there. Okay, but as I'm coloring it here, it just shows me like everything is cool. But in order to satisfy my eyes and my curiosity, I'm going to get a fountain fill of that color blending with perfect with this yellow, so it just looks a little like everything is together, blending together. Okay, you can just see some slight shades of darkness, a darker tone to a lighter tone, and all of that. Then come in here and shift this guy to the downside small. So shift or control page down in this time around, control and page down, just tapping so that it will get behind. I don't want it to go to the bottommost of the page, and I don't want it to also come to the topmost of it. So the governor is red, and we color it red. Right? Okay, that's the choice of the designer, and that's what I'm also following. But putting red on yellow here is a kind of not looking sharp for me as much as I would have wanted, but that was done. So you can see that this one came in so deep into this section, and why the governor is just at the middle of it, not necessarily aligned. It's not aligned with center here, but the middle of this stuff. So just put that in the middle of that stuff, and then bring reverse state to align with the governor, right? Or reverse state is at the center of the governor. Okay, also having its own shading, its own white shading. So I'm duplicating that and then shade it white. Control page down, tap it small until it hides. And the reverse state is a little shorter, so holding shift on keyboard can drag in them so that both sides can expand. With my shift on keyboard, I just pull it in and out. Make sure that everything is center aligned. Okay, that's that. So you can see that we've gotten something very similar to this now. Okay, another thing I'm observing is that this our line here didn't get to that depth of it. Okay, so the next thing is this slogan here, or whatever it is I'm saying here. It says you know how to do it, but I'm just doing it for sake of this concept. Okay, so I have to make it rounded corners, pick shape tool, and then round the corners, drag the corners with the shape tool, color it well. You see that we are reducing the talking because all these things we're already getting used to it. But if when you are watching it you don't understand, please ask question, ask me, call my attention to it. That is the duty of a bootcamp. Bootcamp is because I want to guide you through the process. Assuming I don't want to make it a bootcamp, I will just say upload, and then I just send everything download. If you like, watch in your house. You've given me the money already. I don't have any challenge. If you don't like, see you. But I wanted to relate, so that's why you see I'm making it a bootcamp whereby we can be talking, can be chatting. You can have once in a while, you ask questions and get clarified. But if I upload everything there, you watch it. Some of you won't even watch it. You just download it and keep it there in your phone or your system and forget about it. After all, the money, it doesn't really pay. It's not really painful. Okay, so I just moved it and put it there, make it bold. Okay, just size it accordingly to my test. It's like there's something here. Delete that thing. I don't know. I just need to centralize it. So I had, while clicking on this one, I now hold Shift and click the next one and then center it by E and C. Okay, you are coming in a little here. Okay, I think that's cool, but this side is not up to this point. All right, hey, whether it's up to or not, that's not my problem. what I really wanted to do is to show us how to get this thing done, and we are done with our our poster. But take note, this is where I want to enter level 2 of the explanation. This is basically for an online kind of poster, whereby you really want to post it to Instagram. It has a square shape, it's fine. But if you wanted to print, you have to use an A3 paper size first of all. So, why I tried to put this place up, okay, it's already duplicated here, so I have a duplicate of it here. We'll come back to that to explain that. In fact, as we are doing it, you will see it. Turn our paper now. We have this as an online flyer, but I have to perfect it. Okay, I want to perfect it. And that perfection is that I have to remove one of the lines. Okay, I want to remove one of the lines. And then send this other line to the back of this picture. It should be behind the picture, so tap it. What I did was to send it shift page down, it went down, but I have to also tap it control page up to bring it up a little, so it has entered behind that one. I'm safe there. That one is done. You can now export your work, which you're going to send to me as an assignment to see what you've done. Okay? Then here, let's resize out. Remember that this is for online, which is 150 by 450. I want to turn it back to A3. When I turn it back to A3 now, my A3 size is about 297 by 420 being locked. So I'll now say here, give me 297 mm. It fits in here, but some stuff up and down are not fitting to the paper size. This is where another layer of graphics. Remember that we are designing posters and billboards in one document. Posters and billboards together. Okay, the poster side is almost done, but now whenever you are designing billboards, you always consider, because sometimes you have banners and billboards, they could be various sizes. So one billboard, you want to put it at an expressway, it could have a very long range of road to cross. So you have to put things and line it up to these points. Another billboard will be standing on top of a frame or a pillar, or maybe a placeholder that has been provided somewhere along the express, and you want to mount it very big at this corner. All of that, you will design them accordingly. Having measured the space first, before you get to your designing portion, you will now also be able to redistribute the objects you put here to fit this one, especially if you are a printer or the graphic designer that is designing for the final printing. Take note, this design started like this, but you are the originator, you are the one that designed it. So you always have the free files that you can always alter. The next billboard we want to post it is the one that crosses the road, a dual layer road, crossing from one side of the road to the other side of the road. Very wide. But this is a square picture that if you lift it and put here, it won't work. If you stretch it like this, you have altered perspectives. Okay. Sorry. If you lift it and say, okay, fit into this space for us, we want to drag you and cross the road like this. This is how the thing will appear, which will never be fine. The owner will never forgive you because you've distorted a lot of things. And if you also say, leave it like this as it is, okay, just make sure that it enters well, put it as center, it won't work. And if you say put it like this, okay, duplicate it all around. Duplicating like this, that's not the way it is, except it's for purpose of just pasting it on that space to show many pictures, okay. Likewise on this other one now, you bring it in here, expand it to fill the space, only for you to realize that it doesn't fit well. What do we need to do? Let's go into adjustment. We've come into the Ministry of Post billboards. Okay. But before then, let's finish our first poster here. Our first poster here says, we want to use A3 paper to print. So we now get into the work. I'll group it. What do I need to do now? Begin to stretch these items one by one, pull them out, distribute them. So I'm moving that side out, put it on the top of the page. Then also this bottom side too, I would have to move it down to the bottom of the page side, okay? Expand it well, and then this middle point too. That's the first thing. But this way is not the proper way to do it. The best way I should do it is, I want to undo, to bring everything back, okay? Without this picture and the write-up, while it was still a background alone. So I can move this picture and write-up and keep by the corner here. I don't want the other background to follow. I can move this picture and all of this, but removing the red background. Okay, let me see. Yeah, group that one together, Ctrl G, move it and keep by the side here. Then I can comfortably stretch this background, and this background cannot cry because they are plain backgrounds, they are not pictures. Okay, if it is picture that I'm stretching like this, it will distort the picture. But because it is a background, ordinary text ordinary plain color background, uniform color background, I don't have any challenge. Where I'm having challenge now is if I really wanted to maintain the square shape or the squareness or the pixels here being squared. So in that case, I want to undo because I want to maintain it. I just undo it until everything went back to its place here. I come to this place. Edit content, right click and choose edit content. You see that this thing is already colored, is white, so I can't really see. The thing is almost covering up to the point that we really wanted it to be, so I don't really have much challenge. I just want to stretch it up a little. In fact, leave it there, leave it there, leave it there. Right click and choose. Make sure that this padlock is unlocked. Lock power clip contents. I want to click so that it will not check that locking. I want this thing. If I click on it now, you see what is happening. I want to see that padlock being unlocked. Right click and choose. I click on it. Okay, it has moved, but I didn't see the padlock. What did I do? Okay, I've changed the color inside. Sorry. Get back to white. This padlock, I wanted it to be unlocked, but I'm having challenge. But I can see the evidence here. Now look at this thing. Now I want to color this one red so that I can see the changes very well. While I still, because of transparency, can't really see. Okay, you know what? Remove the transparency first, so we see. This is for my students to see well. Color it red. If you see, while this is being locked, I'll just tap on it once for now. I can't really tell why the padlock is not being unlocked for me. If I move this shape this way, everything moves with me. Everything moves with me. Okay? This time around, I now right click and say, click on that lock power clip content again. In other words, it unlocks it this time around. If I move it this way, the inner power clip content still remains where it was. Whereby if I even move it out of the area, the thing will enter into realms that I can no longer see. So in that case, and I want to use this option to do something quickly. Get back to the undo until everything fits well first. Okay, all right. Okay, keep on undoing. Okay, I think this is no. Something is not right. Undo. I'm still undoing. I hope my system will be able to carry all those levels undoing. Okay, if it doesn't carry, I think I can do it manually myself. I don't want to. It has taken me to a wrong place. Okay, I think it's okay now. Oh, but I don't undo past level. Get back to where I dropped that. I drew that initial stretch and all that with this BillBoard by the side. Okay, this is where I want to stop. Okay, I enter in here by control and clicking. I want to be sure that this thing is also still there in the middle of it. Oh, while it is like this now, change the color back to white, please. Okay, because it's a power clip. It's working on a black background. I right click on it and say, let me be sure that I've not activated the. Okay, it's still together. So right click on it and then click on that lock power clip content. When I click on that lock, I can now come the same thing here. Click on it here. Then I use that opportunity and stretch everything, holding down shift on my keyboard and drag it until it fills the area. You see that this thing still remains where it was. All that really happened is that, click on this now. All that really happened is that the outer container kept expanding, but the inner elements or the content of the power clip didn't really change. It didn't move, it didn't resize, it didn't answer anything that I did. So that's just the way it is. And for me now, I can now move it manually to where I want it to be, and it has entered there. That's okay for me. Remember to always lock it back. Click on it again, because if you don't click on it, copying it to someone else and the person mistakenly moves the thing, it will miss the detail of your background. So likewise on this part, I come back here and move it well to the area that I have been working on. and that is it. Then remember to lock it again. In this time around, I can always move it left and right, and it will always go with me. That's good. So I've gotten that point back. I can now move back. I can now move my other details into the space, but they will no longer fit in. What I need to do now is to now think about the distribution of these elements within the page. We have entered at advanced stage, okay? How to distribute these same elements within the page or the frame of our design. So I have to just separate everything. Because of the nature of the picture that I have, I might need to make this picture very big with all of these together, but the picture still have to come down to the bottom no matter what it is. Very big, maintaining a resolution, but this time around I stretch that picture bigger. It might call for redesigning such that I move things beyond where they used to be initially, because this picture, if I put it like this, it can no longer get to the top. So I would need something like bringing this one now. It will now stay on its own now, okay? And I have to readjust this one. This red now should be taller than this, if necessary, or I look forward to bringing the picture of this a little upward, okay, this time around. Put the cost choice by the side, which I'm saying that this one is looking good for me. This is the concept of posters and billboards, okay, because you will always have to alter what they are for the same purpose. Basically, poster and billboard are for the same purpose, but the sizing of each is dependent on the space you want to post the billboard, to place the billboard. Okay, so this looks good for me, but then I'm maintaining everything as it is. I want to make this red background to be a little bigger, to reach the level of the man's body, which is about this point. Let's see, about this point. Okay, in fact, get me this fully, group it for me. That's Ctrl G for this small thing. Stay here so I can see you. Enlarge this picture to fill the entire page. Fill it up for me. Enter this side too. Okay, so now bring it in to the bottom of the page. Okay, how can I see the bottom of my page? B, that's bottom, and R for right. All right. Do we still have more space? Yes. Okay, so God's choice can now come in here. You see, I'm trying to see maintain this arrangement, so that anyway you see, okay, this one is our poster, this one is our poster, this one is our poster. Then I want to expand this red segment, but because the picture is too big and covers everywhere, I'm sending the picture back to the back of the page, and then expand this red segment a little further. Okay, expand it a little to this point. Let me bring the picture into, okay, up a bit again so that I can see clearly. Now this time around, instead of putting, okay, that one can work in. Now, hold on, the picture is too big. You know, it covers up to all these areas in space, because it's a bitmap image. You cannot really see them. See, the picture covers up to all this based on how I downloaded it without proper cropping. Okay, so I want to highlight this section and bring it up. Shift and page up. Everything that is here, come up. So I bring this my guy back to the same place again, but this time around I want to centralize it with the page, because if I say align it with the body, you cannot really see the difference anymore. So centralize it with the page and then enlarge it to fill the area that I want it to fill. Ambassador Kennedy looks good at that space, but then it's still too tiny for this size of poster. So I'm shifting the picture further back. I want the clock, as in the watch, to just show a little. Okay, so in that case, these people can now come in a little. Okay, just shift it, bring this people up, shift and page up, then just adjust it a little in here. Okay, I think I've gotten. Bring this guy to also stay by the man's cap. Okay, but the cap here, the height as in the distance here on top is still too much. So what do I want to do? To still enlarge it a little. Okay, things more filling. Okay, I'm filling it in. Raise this picture a little. Okay, I like that raising level. Okay, then bring this one a little backward, reduce the size a little. You see, all I'm trying to do is to be able to adjust the same picture that I have, to be able to, but now you can see that this my white background is no longer visible, so I have to bring it up a little to tap into. How did I get this white background? I can't even remember. Duplicate this. You know what I'm just doing, so I may not really spend time explaining that anymore. So I'm bringing it down with my arrow keys to make sure that it aligns well. Okay, this white was supposed to be a background. Okay, so I now pull the red upward some more. Shift out. Pull this red upward, push it up a little. Where's one red now? Okay, yeah, that's cool. Then push up this other one some more. Okay, this is the place of the covenant river state will stay, but the picture must have taken it by now, so it's no longer relevant that we must put it down in that place. Next thing is, this picture can come, right up here will have to come directly on his clothes. If the space provided up there is no longer sufficient, but we still have small space, so I'm putting it here now. Okay, in order to still maintain all my elements, all the things that I want them to see show, I want every of my elements to show. Please take note, I want to highlight all of this now. First of all, take this one out, take all of these people and put it inside the page border by power clipping them till they now become one thing. Now come in here, I click OK. I want to enter inside the page now, so and then pull up these people further, take them up, pull them up. I want this gray background to show somehow somewhere. Okay, then likewise pull up the black, close up the black space. Okay, that's getting okay, permit me to, I'm just observing the thing I'm doing now. I want to be sure that I'm doing something that won't really make anybody feel the difference. You and you has to be bottom aligned as it is. Okay, but I want this this part to show a little somewhere, or that's on one side, but I have to close it. It's just too big for me. Okay, want to reduce it. Perspectives matter a lot. What did I do? Bottom, you and you align bottom. All right. Okay, that looks good now. So I can now bring back my red and the black. Bring it back to that point, and then expand this black. Okay, bring the name to the red again. Put this for covenant river state just around the same region that it started from. Take note, we are maintaining the same design for the owner. We are not changing any design. So we are not changing any design. Everything remains as it is. But the perspective of here is not really fitting for this picture. Hey Kai, what do we do? If I must have this background, then I'm going to sacrifice the other side. And if I must have the other one, I have to sacrifice this one. This is not befitting. This is not good. Okay, so we are not going to use this. What I have to do now is to move this cut choice to the top. Where is it? This picture is covering everything. Oh, I've sent it to the back of the page too. Please cut it out. That's Ctrl X, cut it. Ctrl V, paste it outside here. Okay, be around here. Ambassador, you can bring the picture, because the picture is the key determinant of why we place things where we place them. Okay, I want the wash to show. Okay, no matter what it is, the wash should be there, and I want the picture still to come up here. In this case, since we cannot make use of the upper side, I can't leave that big space for nothing. Okay, then cut choice will be by the side of the picture there. Okay, all these people now, I want to juxtapose this background such that the red now comes. Okay, no, put it. Hold on. I just need to touch the cap a little. Okay, because that red is meant for that cap. Okay, so that is why the owner put that concept there. And this might no longer have to be just in a plain background, because I have to put it on his clothes straight away. Then this downside now becomes for governor, referral state, Ambassador Uyi. Okay, getting a little. All right, that's good. And then a little this way. How is it here? Is it okay? It's on its own space. Yeah. Okay. Court's choice is perfect for me. Ambassador Oyi is perfect for me, but this background here doesn't look perfect for me for this kind of write-up. I have to stretch the picture to cover up as much as I want it to cover, which still gives room for that other side. So everything is perfect. Then here now, please, I want to add my own effects now, because okay, this is good. Send the picture to the background. So power clip, place inside content. Where is it? What did I do? Click on this power clip, place inside container, and then we place here. Okay, guys, that is almost there. But in order for this now to be behind this other picture, it is either I'm going to crop it or send it to the back of it. So I have to just send it to the back of it. That's just the way I have to do it. You can see what I was trying to explain. As we are enlarging this line, this other one still remains at its original state. It doesn't change. Even if we enlarge this into, let me say, 100 feet, which is big, everything else will grow, but the line will remain as it was. See the line here, still tiny. Why this other one is growing with the document. Okay, that's why I said I prefer to use the other one so that everything grows together. However, if you want this one to grow, you must have to set it in the dialog box. Okay, if you come here, outline pane, dialog box, you will be able to make it to scale with image. In other words, whenever the image grows bigger, it should grow with it. Whenever the image grows slow and smaller, or it reduces smaller, it should reduce with it. Now let's stretch it a little bigger again. You see that the line must have started growing now. Yeah, I know too well that the perspective was a little different from here. That's just the essence of the explanation there. Please, I want to delete it now. Deleting it now. Then this one I have to send it back behind the container of, behind even the image. So the image should come to the front. Shift page up, and okay, let's look at our flyer work again, or our poster this time around. It looks cool, right? The only thing missing in this poster now is that I don't like the blending between here and here anymore. This red is no longer relevant for me, so I have to stretch this other one. That upper background is no longer important still, so I have to stretch this one till it goes below or beneath the picture. So I just have only a blend of 3 colors. Okay. Then I might want to bring it, okay, in order not to lose any detail. What did I select? So something, come up, let me see. Okay, in order not to lose any detail, I might want to bring it just beneath this one a little, as a whereby I now put the for governor river state as it should be. Hold on, reduce it a little. outside for governor is on that line. Okay, then refer state is on is on its own. So you can see that I have been able to resize, what I call resize or reshape this or restructure. Hey, let me use that grammar. To restructure this, first of all, was an online flyer. Now I put it in a way that is good enough or suitable for a poster, and still this one suitable for a poster. I don't want it. I don't want that adjustment. Okay, and all the details are still there, but we just change the positioning. Now this is on one side. We are done with our first poster, and this poster as well can serve as billboard. Okay, if it were to be me, I might even want to add this. You can see that everything now blends well. Now, putting this by the side, that's the second one. The next one we might want to do is, what if the billboard is a landscape orientation, something that has a landscape orientation, and it is the same concept you are using, but now you are filling it into different surfaces. You are feeding it into different media. The first media was just a small online flyer. The next one is now like a poster you have to post somewhere, or a portrait orientation of a billboard. But this one around now, you also have a landscape billboard. What do you do? Hey, the same thing again. You go back to it and start adjusting. Adjustment graphics is, you will have to adjust and adjust until things fit in. But this one around, I'm going to do things a little faster because you understand everything I'm doing now. So anything I do that doesn't look like it's plain. So I just want to get this background first of all here and stretch it to anywhere. And okay, it's a grouped object. Wow. Okay, in that case, duplicate it for me. Group. Add the second layer to this side. Please, I might not take time to do anything so seriously because I know that you know what I'm doing. So I'm just adjusting it, making sure that it fills the space. I want to make sure that it fills the space there. Okay, that's it. That's the bottom layer of the flyer. This madam billboard we are going. Then the middle color, I move the middle color in. Sorry, you step out. Bring this one in. No, not you. You step out. Fill the center space. And after the center space, there is a layer here of this red too around that middle line whereby the for governor rest on. This is where we are doing graphics now as professionals. Okay, then the black side too, and remember that this black also has its own background elements. Please, I don't care. See, now we've altered a lot of contents there. Okay, but I'm going to sort it out now inside here. What I'm going to do is that this is 198. Where's the percentage pound? Okay, this is the percentage. Percentage is 198 by 297. I want to unlock this and bring them to 100 by 100. 100 by 100 of the scale factor. You will get that everything now becomes perfectly squared. Okay, it must have been squeezed wrongly. Okay, but as soon as I'm done with this, I have to lock this up again. But remember, you know, if you stretch it manually, you get that. Okay, so but if you feel it here, having been locked, it won't change. What do I need to do? Duplicate it. So just take it to this side and then duplicate it accordingly. Remember that we are not looking for any special thing again. We are just trying to get things done with speed. Is white coloration? Has that given us? I don't know. Okay, it was when I was trying to stretch it, but this when I want to stretch now, I have to unlock this thing and make sure that it's not locked to power clip content. Okay, so you can stretch and possibly color this in a different color first until I get my stuff right, and color it like this color. I want the color now. The other one will show. Okay, that thing is white, so white will not show on any color at all, and it's also transparent. White. No. Okay, let's do it like this. So I'm really duplicating that, please. There's no big problem for now, whether you duplicate well or not. You've seen the way to do it, so you can always take time and do it. Okay, Control R adds that to that column, that section, or you can as well stretch it to fill, depending on what you intend to get. Put it on white again, white color again, and then put this side on black. Has that fill in our page? Oh, lock it again. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Where's our page ending? Our page ends around here. Please be on top of the page, and then move up in here. Okay, my inner element did not grow enough, it's not high enough to reach it, so I have to stretch it, possibly delete one of the segments or two of them. Okay, I see. Are they moving together? Yes, they are. Possibly I have to, this transparency is just looking too light, so let me add something to it so that I can show from the other end. It can be just rough. So I'm bringing it to this place now, and I have to lock it before stretching it a little. Lock. Is it power clip? Yes. Okay, now bring down this area a little. I want it to I want to get the top of the page border, then lock it again up. Right. So I've gotten something similar to what we wanted. It might not be perfect for now, but you know what I'm doing. Just stretch it a little, and just to make sure that it fills up the space perfectly with squares. My interest here is in the square shapes. Okay, so it's done. So we have our background there. This time around, the picture is on its own. Probably let me fit everything first of all into background. So what do I need to do now? Send it to the back. Is there any border of page here? No border, so I have to do page border. Oh, this is where my page is. Ewo. Okay, I didn't measure this page, but let me also assume that it is. I want to measure it, do it manually, because I do not have. Okay, I've already done that. There is a border around that area. Okay, so I do my power clip and send it to the border. Okay, that one enters in there. Do my power clip and send this one too, and then send this one too. Okay, everything now becomes one. So in this case, bring the picture, put by one corner, bring the write-ups. Who is this? Bring the write-up, put in one corner, stretch it accordingly as much as you want it to be, and then bring this other one, put it in their own places accordingly, depending on whatever I want to achieve. The next thing is going to be for us to do the arrangements. This one, there's a white thing here. Remember that cut choice or something like that. Put it here. Okay, let's do arrangement. So I'm stretching this one down to the size that is good enough for me that my eyes can see based on my own arrangement. Okay, the boss man has to grow now and fill up perhaps from top to bottom because it only has that small space, but now occupying one side of the screen 100%. Always leave a small room for headroom, but there's no law compels you to always leave a headroom. Okay, to this right and bottom. Okay, so we've gotten that. Now bring the cost choice to the center or thereabouts. Which center? Center of what? Center of this one. Okay, that's okay by me. But cost choice is too big, so I reduce it a little. Okay, and possibly bring this line down to. Okay, I just want the part of it to tap into the cap, like the concept that the originator started. You must tap into the cap, no matter what it is. Okay. So, but in this case, it's better put at the center between here, but that line will have to grow and meet the cap, no matter the length of the line. Okay. So there we go. Yeah. Stretch it a little. Now you now put the name for Governor Rivers State, then here for positive change. Hey, come out from among them. You'll be here. Okay. Then I'm ungrouping them. This is ungroup or Control U. Take these other ones. I want it, no matter what it is, it should touch the body of the man. Okay, because That is a concept I saw at the original poster. It was directly on the body, but this time around, because of the concept we are using here, it has to float a long way, okay, a long way. It has to float into touching the man, well distributed. And in this case now, this ambassador Uyi Kenneth Simeon may not necessarily have to be on a broken line like it was here again. We have to put it on a straight line now. Okay, take note, that is graphics that you have come to learn. You must understand when to stretch things and when to like hold on or refrain from it, or when to even squeeze it or compress it. Let me use a uniform size and stretch it accordingly. Okay, so my ambassador Uyi will stand here as it were. I want ambassador to have the same font size as this Kenneth here, while the Uyi will still remain bigger than the rest of them. So that is my own way of designing that. Okay. If it looks like this is, I'm breaking it apart, Control K. Bring this Kenneth still to this side, and then Simeon should be very big here at the center. I really want it to be very big in that case, because for it to be at the center, it must be big enough, or if not big, it will be spaced enough too. So Kenneth will have to be small letter, or change case, text menu, change case to title case, or sentence case, or title case, whichever case that applies here. They are the same thing because it's only one word. Ambassador Uyi Kenneth. Then my Simeon fills up the rest of the space at the center there. Take this red background a little upward, make it a little bigger. It has more right up. You go back. Okay. So I enlarge this one, put it there, and then my Simeon should be here. And probably Simeon. The next thing I'm going to do, the whole of these three must be almost the same width, okay, as in other words, this is what I'm doing now. That's what I'm trying to do, just to maintain the same standard that I saw in the original one. Everything the same, color the same, write up the same, but the layout has changed. Layout has changed because we are moving from poster to a billboard. So this particular lesson now is more like a 2-in-1 lesson. Okay, beautiful. But with all that beauty put together, the write-up is bigger than the picture, which is against my own rule. The emphasis here, okay, is too much that the picture is almost disappearing. I would have to naturally keep the write-up in their own place. I need to keep it in their own place. They cannot be bigger than the picture. Even if they are big, they must not overshadow the picture. Because even though we are trying to advertise a name, the face is more important for a political poster than anything else. Okay. Does that still match what I wanted? Maybe or not. If it doesn't really match, I can now put the whole of this together on a straight line. Let's see this. Bring it to this side. Okay, sorry. I want to bring a whole of these people to this side, and then observe it again from afar to see how they are distributed. This is one of the best ways that we can do. We should do this thing. One of the best ways, okay? Because anything beyond this now, it will have to be such a, in this kind of long arrangement. If we don't put it this way now, we might have to bring in 2 or more pictures, or assuming the party has some details of other things. Maybe, okay, since it's a political poster, now you can bring in a picture of a ballot paper, ballot box. And have I shown us where to get picture before? Let me just get there. If you go to pixbay.com, for instance, that's one of my favorite places of getting me. Let me see if you can find ballots. Just type ballots. Okay. Now, since it's a political poster, look for pictures that matches what we want. Okay. We are looking for ballot. You've seen them already. See ballot box. see paper, see all of that. Click on the one you want, or possibly you design your own. You are a graphics designer, but sometimes when you are in a haste, you may not be able to get the image, but for this kind of type, you might draw it on your own. But for these ones now, okay, you can still draw this one on your own, but most of them are going to be live pictures you can use. But whatever it is, make sure that you get something done very fast and bring it in. So for me, I'm picking this, like I like this one a lot. I would have lifted this one and put it there, but I don't want to alter this guy's design. Hey guys, we are done with this design. Okay, and for me to make this one work, I have to stretch this further until it centralizes with this one, but then one part of it should enter under the cap, because I don't want to change the order of the I don't want it to touch the other side. So drive down towards this way. Okay, that's awkward for me. I want to just return it back to its place. Okay, so we've gotten that done, and we are putting this poster on an expressway, whereby people that are passing either in or out of the town will be able to see it. And that expressway has a very wide billboard there. Send this to the back of the picture. Okay, so that is it. Same write-up. Social media poster, ordinary A3 poster. This ordinary A3 poster as well can stand for a portrait poster size, and then this is a landscape billboard, a portrait billboard and a landscape billboard. We are done with the design. All right, that is it. Please export your work. How do you export? Highlight it like this, go to File menu, Export, and put the name you want to put for me, and then send to me. All right, that's it.